Hello, today I want to tell you about infusing your mineral powders with oils. And this is a do-it-yourself project that's quick and easy and will have a lot of benefits for your skin. And all that is involved in terms of tools is some kind of blender or mixer or grinder. I have this little coffee grinder from Walmart that I think was around $20 that I use exclusively for mixing mineral makeup. So I've never used this for coffee, but if you have something like this, maybe like a magic bullet, I have that I use for food, and you do use that for food, you want to make sure you clean it really well both before and after, but potentially you might already have something in your kitchen that you can use for this project. I'm going to show you a quick little demo of how it works, and then I'm going to discuss with you in depth all the different kind of variants to this, all the different oils that you can use, how to use them, different skin types. You can do this if you have oily skin, if you have dry skin, if you're acne prone. I'm going to tell you more about the powders that you can add these oils to and all that stuff. I'm going to discuss with you in detail right after this little demonstration. So this is about a teaspoon of foundation, and I'm going to add just a few drops of oil. So that was about 6 drops of oil. Now I'm going to cover that up with my saran wrap, and I'm going to put the lid back on and mix that all up. And here it is after being mixed. Alright, so as you saw, that is really quick and easy. And one thing that you probably noticed that I didn't talk too much about is the saran wrap that I use. So I like to cover my grinder with the saran wrap right before I put on my lid. It almost makes it have like another lid in there. This way, it's really quick and easy cleanup, and the powder doesn't get all over this cap. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. And then just a little bit of a closer look at the powder here. So here it is on my finger, here it is in the container. And let me just kind of swatch it and blend it on the back of my hand. So you can kind of see it's nice and creamy and it blends really smooth. And I am wearing this on my face today, just all over. That is the only product that I have on in terms of foundation. I do have concealer just underneath my eyes, and that's it. The rest of my face is just this powder. So let's talk about the benefits of this, why somebody would want to do this. So first, quickly, I just want to mention that true hydration comes from water. Your skin needs water. And this is why most moisturizers are comprised of some sort of water ingredients or water-based ingredients, and then they have the oil portion to them. And the purpose of oil is not to hydrate your skin the way that water does. The purpose of the oil is it kind of coats your skin. Oils and waxes both do, and they prevent that water from evaporating. If you just put a little bit of oil in a glass of water, you know, it floats to the top and forms that film. So it kind of does that on your skin, and it traps the moisture in your skin. And of course, oils have a lot of beneficial qualities to them. They have antioxidants and vitamins. They have anti-aging properties. They have antibacterial, antiviral properties, good for fighting acne. So there's a lot of benefits to oils. Mineral makeup, by its very nature, absorbs oil. So even ones that are not marketed for oily skin, that are not marketed as, you know, oil control powders, all mineral makeup will absorb the oils from your skin into it. Now, some are more gentle and suitable for dry skin. I have dry skin. I love mineral makeup. It's my favorite kind of foundation still, even though I also do use cream and liquid foundations. So what will happen once you add the oils to your foundation is some of that oil absorbing capacity will be filled with the oils that you add. So now the oil that it's going to absorb from your face is going to be very, very minimal. So that is good if you have dry skin and you don't want anything too drying. I like to mist my face before I put on my makeup. Maybe use a moisturizer before you put on your makeup, but either way, adding the oils will help further to seal in that moisture. One thing you may have noticed is the powder, after I added the oils to it, it got a little bit darker. And this is something that will happen on your face as well. As the foundation sits on your face and absorbs those oils, it oxidizes and it gets a little bit darker. So this is not going to make it darker than it naturally would turn on your face, because we're not adding anything that would change the color. You will notice the foundation will become a little bit thicker and creamier. It'll go on really nicely. It'll feel creamy on your skin. It does involve, or it can, a little bit more blending and buffing on your part depending on how much oil you add. Be careful about adding too much oil. What you saw in my demonstration, that was like 6 to 7 drops of oil. I think it's a little bit more than a teaspoon of foundation that I have in there, like a really full teaspoon. So that's what I did there. And I would say that's probably the max that you want to go. If you add any more oil, it'll start to get kind of lumpy and clumpy because it'll just be too much. It'll start almost turning into like a clay, and that's going to be really hard to apply it to your skin. So I would recommend adding a few drops of oil first, see how it works out for you, see how you like it, and then you can add, a few more drops. The oil also makes the foundation a little bit less powdery, so if you have a foundation that, kind of just flies everywhere, this makes it a little bit less likely to do that, so that's another benefit. Now let's talk about the different oils that you can use and different skin types and what is suitable for what type of skin. So first, I just want to mention that the amount of oil that you're actually putting on your skin is very minimal. If you think about how much powder we created and how many uses it will take you to use that up, that's only, a few drops of oil. So you are getting like a fraction of a drop of oil on your skin. So, your skin's not going to feel oily if you're afraid of oils. And as you saw, I had a little bowl, a little glass bowl with all my oils mixed in it. I like to do that and just mix them all together and then do a few drops of that rather than drop all the different oils directly. That way you can really get to be too much. So make your mixture separately and then do a few drops of that. And of course, you don't have to make a mixture if you don't want to. You can just use one oil and one oil only, and that's all you need. So if you have acne-prone skin, if you have oily skin, fractionated coconut oil is great. It is very light, it is quick absorbing, and it's, it doesn't feel or look oily, and it's good for acne-prone skin. And so is coconut oil and tea tree oil. But tea tree oil is, of course, an essential oil, and you don't want to use that straight, undiluted on your face. So if you're going to add tea tree oil or really any essential oil, you want to look up on the internet, because it's different for every oil, how much it's supposed to be diluted. And then diluted with another oil first, and then add a few drops of that, rather than just adding straight up essential oil to your mix, because some of them can actually burn the skin. Since I just mentioned coconut oil, let me tell you a little bit about using oils that are solid at room temperature. So coconut oil, depending on how cool or warm it is in your house, it can be solid. You also have things like shea butter and you have cocoa butter, all of which are solid. Now you can actually use those, but what you have to do is you have to melt them down and you have to dilute them with another oil that is liquid, and then let that sit and let that come to room temperature to make sure that it's going to be a liquid and it's not going to turn into a solid. And if you dilute it enough and it's liquid, that is one way that you can add some of those butters and some of those harder oils to the foundation. Shea butter, of course, very moisturizing, great for eczema, great for dry skin, great for, mature skin. Another great oil, avocado oil. I have both the avocado and also sea buckthorn seed oil in my foundation mix to help with kind of dry, rougher skin. Those oils are very healing. If you have acne, neem is another great one. That one is not an essential oil, but that one is a little bit stinky, be warned. And tea tree oil, of course, that has a pretty strong smell to it too if you're not familiar with it. Argan oil is great for dry skin and mature skin. You might have that already. You might have that like Josie Moran argan oil. oil or just really any brand that's really popular. Maracuja or passion fruit oil is another really popular one. That one's good for all skin types. The argan oil, I feel like it's probably not the best for oily skin. I feel like it is kind of a thicker, heavier oil, but the Maracuja is nice and light, so even if you have normal or oily skin, I feel like that sinks in quickly and it doesn't leave your skin too oily or greasy. And another important oil I want to mention is vitamin E oil. Now, the role that vitamin E oil will play in your mix is not just for skincare benefits, but also to help the other oils that you add to this from going bad, because vitamin E oil is an antioxidant and it helps the other oils from oxidizing or going rancid. And that's another thing that you definitely want to keep in mind with the oils that you're using. So you may be used to mineral makeup just sitting around forever and ever and never going bad, because minerals pretty much never go bad, but oils do go bad. So be aware of the oils that you're using and how quickly they expire, because that is what's going to affect how quickly your mix of foundation is going to expire. And adding that vitamin E is going to help. You can of course do this with any powder that you want to infuse with oils, but primarily foundation this works really great with. If you have a finishing powder and you may like it in the summer, but then you find that in the winter it becomes a little bit too oil absorbing, a little bit too drying for your skin, but you still like it and you still want to keep using it, you may want to try making a small batch where you add just a teeny bit of the oil. You don't want to make it too creamy because you don't want to have to, blend too much. You want to kind of loosely dust the finishing powder on your face. The finishing powder will absorb some of that oil, and some of that oil absorbing capacity that it has will be filled up by those oils, so now it will absorb less from your skin, so you might find it a little bit less drying. So that's a way to maybe make up a batch just for the winter if you're like me and your skin gets extra dry in the winter. So this is it. That is all there is to it. It's quick, it's easy and simple, and a great way to turn your mineral powder foundation into a skincare product with lots of benefits for your face, and also great for dry skin, or all skin types depending on the oils that you use. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.